Warner Cable's Local Edition. I'm Brad Pomerance. Thanks for joining us. Our guest, Mark Ridley-Thomas, member of the Los Angeles County Board of Supervisors. Sir, recently there was an ordinance passed by the Board of Supervisors. Everyone's been talking about it. I think there's some serious confusion about whether the Board of Supervisors has outlawed frisbees and footballs on Los Angeles County beaches. And
the answer to that is absolutely not.
Explain.
Well, the first obligation that the members of the board or any governing body has would be public safety.
Of course.
And after that, you create an environment that's fun where recreation can be experienced. And the fact of the matter is, before now, it was completely illegal.
And that's the key. I think that's where the confusion comes, is that before this ordinance, there were no frisbees allowed, no footballs allowed.
Exactly.
And it wasn't being heavily enforced, but then there was some enforcement, and that's how it came to the board, because folks were saying to you, wait a second, I want to play frisbee. So you were actually trying, as I understand it, to be more permissive, not less.
Exactly, and it was misunderstood in terms of denying people something that they had already enjoyed, when in fact what they had enjoyed was contrary to the law. And so to make it enforceable in a clear, fair-minded fashion, we expanded the opportunity to play those particular games and lifted the ban. There was a ban on all of it before we took this step.
The key is that the ban is completely lifted in, we'll call it off-season. During peak season, there will be designated areas, or you need to get a permit. How is that going to work? Do we not know yet?
The implementation of it is being refined and worked out, but the fact of the matter is football, frisbee, those kind of fun games are not being banned.
Whoever got that America, apple pie, hot dogs, come on.
You know, have a good time.
Okay.
But we have an obligation to make it fun and safe, safe and fun.
Okay.
And if you call the Department of Beaches and Harbors, you can find out any of all of this. Call my office and we'll be glad to explain.
There you have it. Let's go on to some different news. We are looking to improve employment in this region. It's gotten a little better.
A little better.
But you're still working hard to decrease the unemployment rate. Tell us about a historic project labor agreement that was passed last month.
Well, it's historic in the sense that for the first time in the history of the County of Los Angeles in one instance and the Metropolitan Transportation Authority in the other instance, we have targeted agreements that would focus on hiring the disadvantaged, those who have high unemployment rates, those who are veterans, and what it means is that you have circumscribed areas where there can be recruitment and focus, and you have labor peace and on time, on budget projects.
And what I think will be particularly valuable about this agreement is, I've looked at some numbers recently, and while the unemployment rate is going down, the underemployment rate is still high and rising. And so I would presume that when you're looking at these types of agreements, it can address both issues.
It will address unemployment, underemployment, hidden employment, and there are refined areas, and it will also deal with the issue of the uninsured, because people are working but don't have insurance, so they can't take care of their families.
Is there a local hire preference as well? Is that part of this plan?
It is not, but it's a focus in terms of targeting those who are, in fact, in communities and defined zip codes, and that way we can make sure we get to the unemployment
How do we
rate.
Apply?
Well,
is it in place yet?
Yes, it is. It's being set up now with respect to the Martin Luther King projects. Go on my website at ridleythomas.lacolony.org, and you can find all of this information, and we're glad to be able to do it.
Jobs, beach balls, we're set.
That's right.
Okay, he's Mark Ridley-Thomas. I'm Brad Pomerance. Thanks for watching Time Warner Cable's Local Edition. Back to HLN.
Yeah.